Hello everyone, in this video I want to speak about how to apply for Czech citizenship step by step. I applied for Czech citizenship in December 2023. If I need to apply one more time, with what will I start and how will I do the same procedure? So first suggestion, if you think about to apply in Czech citizenship in future, doesn't matter, I will suggest you take your ID, your passport, your permanent resident or your resident, and if you marry, take your husband ID, residence or your partner and go to Matrika in this Prague which you live. For example, I live in Prague 10, I go to Matrika, it's called like Městská část Prague 2, Městská část Prague 10. Since the beginning, I wanted to apply for Czech citizenship, but according to my calculation, I could apply in 3 years. But my good friend, she recommended to go to Matrika, take my ID, my husband's ID, go to Matrika and directly ask, in this Matrika, where you live. And when I go to Matrika, I was surprised because they told me that I can apply immediately. So what I want to tell you, each case is individual. If you plan to apply for Czech citizenship, I will recommend you take your documents, your husband, partner, and go directly to Matrika in where you live and ask them. To go to Matrika, you don't need to make any appointment. You just go to Městská část Prague 10, Prague 2, and find it will be written Matrika, and you should go to take this small list which is written something apply for citizenship or podání žádosti na občanství. You take this list, you wait your number, and after you they invite you, you go to this list, you show your documents and you tell, look, I would like to apply for Czech citizenship and I would like to know which documents I need to prepare and when I could apply. Because as I told, each case is individual, she check something on computer, whatever, and she tell you special information only for you when you could apply, and she will print you all kind of documents which you need to apply for Czech citizenship. Usually in Matrika they give you some documents like this, informace k žádosti o udělení státního občanstva. So they give you information which documents what you need to prepare for apply for Czech citizenship. If they don't print you, I will recommend to ask them nicely to print. In this case it will be much easier for you because you have everything and you don't need to memorize anything. I also suggest you, if you have some friend who live in Prague 5 and you live in Prague 10 and he applied already like a few months ago, and he told, look, I give you all the information which you need to apply for Czech citizenship, and you think like, why will I go, why will I spend my time? I will recommend you to go to especially your Matrika with your ID and ask this kind of information, because each case is individual and each Matrika could be a bit different documentation. For example, they told you that you can apply in 3-5 years, or they told you that you can apply immediately. Which next step you should do? You should start to prepare for Czech language exam. If you're younger than 65 years old, if you're older than 15, if you don't have any mentally or physical disease, if you didn't study 3 and more years in a Czech school or Czech university in Czech language, you have to pass Czech language exam. Czech language exam consists in Czech reality and Czech language exam. It's level B1. If you need to pass exams in Czech language, I will suggest you to start prepare immediately, because it's quite complicated to register. It's all the time busy, and to register and to go to exam it takes you 3-6 months, plus after if you pass exams it takes you also 3 weeks to arrive the certificate. If you didn't pass, you have to go one more time. So I will suggest you start to prepare. If you plan to apply for Czech citizenship, start to prepare and start to register an exam as soon as possible. This certificate about Czech language exam and Czech reality, it's valid all the time. So it could be valid after 30 years, after 20 years, after 5 years. So once you pass the exams, you get the certificate. You don't have to think about this. So my suggestion, because it takes quite a lot of time to register, to find the space, to pass it, my suggestion to start with Czech language exams. How to prepare and how to pass Czech language exams, I have a video on my YouTube channel, or I invite you to my private consultation where I tell you everything about Czech language exam and Czech reality, how to pass and how to prepare. Next step which I suggested to do is birth certificate. Because I am from Belarus and Matrika asked me to put on my birth certificate apostille. Apostille is a special stamp which guarantees the document was given by official state. And this apostille I can put only in Minsk, in my country, because Belarusian embassy in Czech Republic don't do this kind of work. So I have to send my birth certificate in Minsk. After, I have to wait 4 months to get this apostille. After, when Ministry of Affairs saw my birth certificate, they told it's too old, they couldn't put on this birth certificate stamp, and they asked me to renew. So I have to call my parents. My parents go again to in my town, they make one more birth certificate, they send it back to Minsk, again bit wait, and after they put apostille. Let's say I didn't expect that with birth certificate it will be so complicated. And after, when they send me my birth certificate in Prague, I go to translation agency. They ask me, in which language would you like to translate, in Belarusian or in Russian, because we have two official languages. And most of the time I use Russian language, and I ask to translate in Russian language. And after I translate, I bring to Matrika, and after 1 week Matrika called me and told that they need translation from Belarusian language. So because Russian language, it's like Cyrillic, and there is Latin language. So my suggestion, if your name, first name and last name in Latin language will different like in passport, I speak about main page with pictures, translate from this language. If you from Belarus, translate from Belarusian language. Because my first name and last name in Russian and in Belarusian spell is different. For example, in Russian it's Olga, in Belarusian it's Volkha, and the same last name. Don't do this mistake. Translate from this language which you have on this with pictures, but written in Latin, if you have this. And also I suggest you, when you go to translation agency, write your first and last name how you want that it will be translated in Czech, because sometimes they can make like some small mistake, and after you have to go 3 more times. So better if you write them your first and last name how you would like it will be translated. And if you pass Czech language exams and you make this birth certificate, congratulations. For me it was the most 2 difficult documents. Next document which I start is certificate of non-persecution. So it's a document from your country that police, that you are not some criminal and police searching for you, you just hide in Czech Republic. I think it's for people who live 10 and more years in Czech Republic, they don't need it, but better if you ask in your Matrika. Also, you should do it from your country, and it also could take some time. These documents which you get from your country, you have to translate it in Czech language. I will suggest you also ask Matrika if you need to put apostille on certificate of non-persecution. If you need to put apostille in birth certificate, ask this is in front. Also, non-persecution certificate of non-persecution, also ask how long it could be valid, because I'm sure that there is valid and it will be invalid after some time. I don't remember, it's 3 or 6 months. Ask please on your Matrika. So before it was the most complicated documentation because it's connected from your home country, and next documents which I speak, it's everything which you can take in Czech Republic, and it took me approximately 1 week and a half, maximum 2 weeks. I thought that it will be much more complicated, but it was much easier. If you have all documents which we speak before, next step which I will do, it's documents from finance office, from Celní správy Czech Republic. I don't know how to translate in English, but it's something that you don't have any debt in Czech Republic. After social security and insurance. All the documents valid only 30 days. So if you're on maternity, if you start with social security and Celní úřad, and after finance office, if you was last 3-5 years not on maternity leave, start with finance office, Celní úřad, social security, and after insurance. When you go to all these offices like finance office, Celní úřad, social security, they will ask you blanket, would you like to come to take this document personally, or would you like to send by post? First time I choose that I wanted they send me by post, but after it makes so complicated because they send me by post, I didn't receive any letters that something waiting me on post. I start to call this lady told she sent like 1 week before. I go to post, they told because you didn't come we send it back. I call this lady, can I come to take? She told no, because you choose by post I have to send it you again by post. I come to post, after they couldn't give me, so it was so complicated that after this case I start to choose only come to yourself. What I suggest you, if you want to make it easier and faster, just find this 20 minutes, go to take yourself, and don't make this any complication with Czech Post. Next document you have to provide about your income for last 3 years in my case, maybe in your matka it will be last 5 years, your income or your husband's income. And it was quite simple for me because it was enough like screen from your internet banking how much money received in months. We just printed it for last 3 years and give it like this. It was actually enough for them. After you need take some documents. It's quite simple that you didn't take any money from Czech Republic. Maternity leave, it doesn't count in. Let's say that you are not very poor and you Czech Republic didn't spend any money on you. So this is quite simple documents because they give you immediately. Next, they will ask me to provide when I was last 3 years. In my matrika, some matrika, they ask when you was last 5 years. It's where you travel even for 1, 2, 3 days. Before I was confused, but after I just opened my Google Maps by pictures and I just put some date when I was even 1, 2 days, like in Germany, in Austria, or you travel somewhere else. After you need to write application that they make you Czech citizenship, and of course you will write everything in Czech. I write a bit about my name, my last name, when I born, and I ask them to provide me Czech citizenship, and I write a bit about myself. That first time I came to study in Czech Republic, and after I like culture, I like people, I like food, I decided to stay here. After I met my husband, after my child born here, he go to Czech kindergarten, and Czech Republic for me it's my home, something in this way. Also, I needed to write resume also about yourself, something like previous application, but be a bit more. Previous application was quite short. This is application you speak a bit more, of course, about yourself, who you are, when you come here, what is connected you in Czech Republic. I wrote, for example, that I have here friends, my real estate here, that my son go to Czech kindergarten. So it's previous, but here previous was more shorter, and this is you go more in details. It's like free format. You just write your connections between you and Czech Republic why you wanted to get the Czech citizenship. If you have your own property in Czech Republic, you have to go to Katastr nemovitosti and ask from them documents, and they will give you immediately. Or if you don't have a property, you have to bring normal copy of your rented contract. It's also enough. That's it. All documents which I spoke should be in Czech language. You should take all these documents, all these žádost, application. You should print it. Everything should be in Czech and bring it to matrika. Again, the same, choose like apply for Czech citizenship. Basically, you bring the same woman who was before. Tell you which kind of document you need to prepare. Each in practice, they didn't accept card. You have to bring 2000 Czech crown by cash. All these documents which you need to take from Czech Republic, it was quite simple. It looks like very difficult, but actually it was quite simple. It took me 1.5 week maximum. I believe this video was useful for you. Please put like if it's useful for you, and if you have any question, write on comments. I will respond, and if you still have any question and some unclear situation, I invite you to my private consultation when we discuss your case. And subscribe to my channel, subscribe to my Instagram, and see you in next video. Have a nice day. Bye.